we're going to be talking about the midpoint formula here, and the midpoint is basically this. The midpoint is the point that is halfway between 2 points. That makes sense, right? Okay, so before we actually get to the midpoint formula, we're going to use this first example to review the distance formula, because your worksheet today that you have for homework is going to have both distance. You have to find the distance between 2 points, and you have to find the midpoint of those 2 points. Now, not all, like, you'll see when we get there. But anyway, we're going to practice finding the distance. Oh.
What?
Okay, now, when it says find the distance, you would use the distance formula. When it's not says find the midpoint, you use the midpoint formula. You have to know when to use which formula, right? Follow the words. Do not make me tweak you. Take the chair away, make you sit on the floor.
Make him stand.
Okay, so the distance formula is really a extended version of Pythagorean theorem, right? So it's x2 minus x1 in parentheses squared plus y2 minus y1 in parentheses squared, add them together, square root. Okay, so we're finding the distance between this point and this point. Yes,
Can you
Paul.
tell Bo to stop making funny faces at me?
How am I supposed to make a funny face?
Okay.
on a mask?
You can do it with your
Hey,
eyebrows.
Cole,
I can't focus on
Cole, come sit here then. And then put your mask up over your nose, please. Okay, so C is going to be x1, y1, and D is going to be x2, y2. So then we plug our numbers in. So x2 is 12 minus x1, which is 3. Again, you guys, this is the lesson that I am recording. Therefore, if I have any issues with you that I have to email home, I can just have them watch the video and they will hear your voices if you are the one that is causing trouble. Just saying. Y2 minus y1 would be 17 minus 5. You guys remember this? This is what we did last Friday. So 12 minus 3 is 9. So we do the subtraction first and then we square it. And then we do the subtraction first and then we square it. So we've got 81 plus 144. We add them together. 225.
Yes.
So the square root of 225 happens to be a nice one. It's 15. So that's how we would find the distance between the 2 points. Now the distance is always just a plain old set number, just a number, right? What we're learning today is the midpoint formula. So our answer isn't just going to be a number. Our answer is going to be in point form. So we're going to have an x value and we're going to have a y value. Okay, so let's try it out. So we're going to take those very same values, C and D, and they're still going to be x1, y1, and x2, y2. And we're using this formula instead. Now this formula is in fraction form. I know we hate fractions, but it's okay because all we have to do is divide it by 2 at the end. That's our fraction. So the top of the first part says x1 plus x2. So we're taking the 2 x's and adding them together this time instead of subtracting them. So 3 plus 12. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So that's my x value. To find the y, we take the y plus the y. 5 plus 17. You guys, it's really just averaging the x's and averaging the y's. Remember average where you add them up and divide by how many there are? We're just adding the x's together, dividing by 2. Adding the y's together, dividing by 2. So we get 22 divided by 2. Mason, put your mask up.
That's a lot for this problem.
Yes, it is 11 right here. And our midpoint is 7.511. Guys, the midpoint formula is like the easiest formula to do here.
Yes, true.
Okay, so let's do number 2. The midpoint formula of AB. A is -7, 4, so we have x1, y1. And B is 2, -9, so that would be x2, y2. Now remember, our formula is to take the two x's and add them together, so -7 plus 2 divided by 2. And take the y's and add them together, so 4 plus -9 divided by 2. And now we're just going to simplify it. -7 plus 2
-5.
divided by 2 is -2.5. And 4 plus -9, -5 divided by 2. And our point is -2.5, -2.5.
Sheesh.
All right, you guys, we have one more example to do, and then you guys are ready to open up your, it's not super long. Alex, you're just way too wound up today.
Me too.
Okay. This last problem says a circle is drawn on a coordinate plane is shown at the left. The endpoints of the diameter are -1,5 up here, whoops. And 4, -3 down here. What we want to do is we want to find the center of that circle. Well, the center of the circle happens to be the midpoint of the diameter. So if we take the two endpoints and average the x's and average the y's, that's going to be the center of our circle. So I am going to take -1. Because I'm using my finger today instead of the stylus.
Don't use the eraser my pencil.
No. So -1 plus 4, because I'm using the x's. And then 5 plus -3, because I'm using the y's. Divide them both by 2. So -1 plus 4 divided by 2. And 5 plus -3.
2.
Oops, that's
One.
opposite. And does 1.51 look like it could be the center of a mass? Absolutely. Okay, so your assignment today is 11-3B. Now let me explain something to you first.